The time is 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lakshman Fonseca and read by Tilani Pires. The Health Ministry issued a new set of guidelines to be effective from tomorrow. The Minister of Health says 99.5% of the population above 30 has now been vaccinated. The Department of Motor Traffic and the Department of Registration of Persons resumes its services. The quarantine curfew is lifted at 4 a.m. tomorrow. The Petroleum Corporation has taken several measures to cover up losses occurred during the pandemic. And on international news, a China power crunch slams factories as coal lobby warns wars could stay until winter. The Health Minister has issued a new set of guidelines today to be followed in the month of October once the curfew is lifted from tomorrow. According to the new guidelines, interprovincial travel restrictions are to continue with exemptions for essential activities, while all non-essential travel is not permitted from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. daily. Buses will be in operation within the provinces only, however, trains will not be operated. Public and shared transport should preferably be non-air conditioned and windows should be opened, while only seated passengers are allowed in public transport. It added that all passengers should wear a mask properly during travel. The Health Ministry said all work settings should reduce the number of employees coming to work at a given time and to apply the procedure of work from home if possible. According to the new guidelines, all public gatherings and parties are not allowed until further notice. Meanwhile, the schools are yet to open other than schools with total students below 200. Preschools are allowed with 50% of capacity, while tuition classes are not allowed. Universities will commence functions as per guidelines. No collective activities or gatherings are allowed at religious places, while cinemas and theatres will remain closed until further notice. The Minister of Health says 99.5% of the population above 30 has now been vaccinated. However, 12.7% of the population from the age group 20 to 29 has received both the doses as of today. Director General of Health Services Dr. SLBC told a news briefing that almost 100% of the population above 30 years of age had received at least a single dose, while 46% of the population from 20 to 29 age group had been given a single dose. He said that they had noticed a sharp reluctance from youth to get themselves vaccinated. Dr. SLBC also urged the youth population to get the vaccine without being choosy and deceived by mythical beliefs. Meanwhile, a total of 59 more COVID-19 related deaths that occurred yesterday were confirmed today, pushing the death toll to 12,906, according to the Government Information Department. A total of 47 people who are above 60 years of age are among the deceased, while 11 of them are between 30 and 59 years of age. The Department of Registration of Persons will resume its services on Monday the 4th. The Commissioner General Vyani Gunatilaka says all branch offices and the Battaramulla head office will be open for services from Monday. He added that the one-day service for issuing national identity cards would not be available until further notice. The Commissioner General requested the general public to hand over their completed applications to the relevant Grama Nildaris instead of submitting to the respective district secretariat officers. He said when the NICs are ready, it will be posted to the personal addresses mentioned in the applications. However, priority would be given to those who want their IDs under urgent circumstances. People who need IDs urgently should contact the provincial NIC office branches or the head office during working hours, the Commissioner General added. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Department of Motor Traffic DMT is set to resume its services at the Narayanpeta and Virhara offices from tomorrow. Commissioner General Sumit C.K. Alhakon said that the offices will be operated at strictest control under the health guidelines. However, people who wish to obtain its services should contact the department on 0112 677 877. That number once again 0112 677 877 to make the appointments. The Department of Motor Traffic said the activities of the district officers of the DMT are carried out under the guidance of the district secretary of the relevant district. The Commissioner General requested the public to contact the Department of Services such as vehicle registrations and driving licenses through the hotlines from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on working days. It has provided the people the mobile numbers 0707 677 877 for registration of vehicles. That number once again 0707 677 877 for the registration of vehicles, and 0707 677 977 for inquiries related to driving licenses. That number once again 0707 677 977 for inquiries related to driving licenses. The Commissioner General also requested the public to make inquiries via WhatsApp, Viber and SMS from the same number after office hours. The country is expected to return to normalcy after quarantine curfew is lifted at 4 a.m. tomorrow. However, travel restrictions are in place between provinces except for essential services. Minister Janaka Bandara Tennakon said that steps have been taken to reactivate the public service from tomorrow. He said that priority will be given to essential public services. A set of guidelines was issued today to implement after opening the country. Public transport services will not be operated between the provinces. However, passenger transport is permitted within a province. Buses can carry passengers only according to the number of seats. Weddings will be limited only for registrations. Only 5 could attend the function. Permission will not be given for parties, public meetings and musical shows. Restaurants have not been given permission to open. Only 10 persons can attend a funeral. Only 5 individuals can attend gymnasiums. The Health Ministry said these measures will be further relaxed if the spreading of the coronavirus is reduced. Permission will not be given from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. for non-essential travel. The head of the organization can decide the number of employees to be called for service. The Petroleum Corporation has taken several measures to cover up losses occurred during the pandemic. The chairman of the Petroleum Corporation, Attorney Sumit Vijay says the corporation has lost about 70 billion rupees in the recent past. He added the fuel price has gone up by 20% in the world market. The Petroleum Corporation has also planned to recover finance to be collected from other government bodies. It has also taken action to promote the production of lubricant oil and road tar and other related industries too, the chairman added. That ends local news for now.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddha Lepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddha Lepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddha Lepa Vidya Mahatmya.
On Watchlight tonight, and before that, the main news story, the Health Ministry has issued a new set of guidelines today to be followed in the month of October once the curfew is lifted from tomorrow. According to the new guidelines, interprovincial travel restrictions are to continue with exemptions for essential activities, while all non-essential travel is not permitted from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. daily. Buses will be in operation within the provinces, only however trains will not be operated. Public and shared transport should be preferably be non-air conditioned and windows should be open while only seated passengers are allowed in public transport. It added that all passengers should wear a mask properly during travel. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddha Lepa Vidya Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddha Lepa.
And now in Watchlight.
The Sri Lanka Medical Association, SLMA, says there is still a possibility of high transmission of the COVID virus as a significant number of individuals below 30 were not vaccinated as yet. SLMA President Dr. Padma Gunaratna says 20% of the population above 20 years of age were not vaccinated, so as the below 20 group. Even though the country is open, there is still a high possibility of virus transmission. SLMA said it would be extremely hard for the country to bear if another wave emerges in the community. Another wave is inevitable if people fail to toe the line, she stressed. Therefore, the Medical Association stressed the importance of strictly following health rules and guidelines in order to prevent another wave when the curfew is lifted. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News.
World News headlines first. China power crunch slams factories as coal lobby warns woes could stay until winter. WhatsApp will soon stop working on millions of older smartphones. India introduces toll-free helpline, Elder Line, for its senior citizens. Small firms caught in China's prolonged energy crunch are turning to diesel generators, and some of them are already closed as coal industry officials voiced fears about stockpiles ahead of winter. Railway companies and local authorities has expedited vital coal supplies to utilities and extensive power cuts that have crippled industrial output in key regions. As many as 20 provinces are believed to be experiencing the crisis to some degree, with factories temporarily shut or working on short hours. Shopkeepers were left to light their stores by candlelight, and there were reports of mobile networks failing after a three-day outage hit 3 northeastern provinces. The November deadline is fast approaching and will lock some iPhones and Android phones off WhatsApp forever. More than 40 different smartphone models are expected to be affected accordingly. The deadline for the update is November 1st, after which WhatsApp will cease to work. For Android users, they'll need to be running Android 4.1 or later, and for iPhone users, they'll need to be on iOS 10 or later. On the Android front, that means a host of popular phones will lose access, including the Samsung Galaxy S3 and the Huawei ZenMate. For Apple, you'll lose access on an iPhone 4 or older, and if you've never updated your iPhone 6s, iPhone 6s Plus or iPhone SE, will users have to update the software. India introduces toll-free helpline, Elder Line, for its senior citizens. The Elder Line is expected to provide free information and guidance to senior citizens. The scope of the information provided could range from pensions to legal issues, emotional support, and intervention on field in cases of abuse, and rescue the homeless elderly. The significance of the Elder Line, an initiative by India's oldest philanthropist, Tata Trust, and Vijayanti Charitable Foundation in collaboration with the Telangana government. The sheer percentage of the elderly population assumes significance, as many nations have a lesser population than this number. To date, 17 states have already opened the Elder Line in the jurisdictions, while others are expected to roll out the service. Back to the world news headlines. China power crunch slams factories as coal lobby warns woes could stay until winter. WhatsApp will soon stop working on millions of older smartphones. India introduces toll-free helpline, Elder Line, for its senior citizens. That ends World News. Moving on with development news, Sri Lanka's merchandise exports in August has recorded an increase of 14.4% to $1,083.56 million as compared to $947.2 million recorded in August 2020, as per the data released by Sri Lanka Customs. The services exports estimated by EDB, which includes ICT construction, financial services and transport and logistics, recorded a worth of $2,184.5 million during the period of January to August 2021, compared to $1,640.8 million recorded in the corresponding period of 2020. Sri Lanka Customs said estimated service exports increased by 33.13% during the period of January to August 2021, compared to the corresponding period of 2020. That was development news.
Sports news.
And it's a Winter Olympics. Athletes at the 2022 Winter Olympics and Paralympics who are not fully vaccinated against coronavirus will have to serve 21-day quarantine upon arrival in Beijing. Participants at the Games who are fully vaccinated will enter a closed-loop management system when they arrive. Athletes who had justified medical exemption for the vaccine will have their cases considered. The Winter Olympics run next February and the Paralympics in March. Games organizers said that tickets will be sold exclusively to spectators residing in China's mainland who meet the coronavirus countermeasures. Vaccinated athletes will be allowed to move only between games-related venues for training, competitions and work. All those involved in the games within the closed-loop system will be tested daily. That was Sports News.
A safe, easy and versatile app for all your banking needs. NSB Pay for monetary transactions, bill payments, reloads, credit card payments and Lanka QR transactions. A range of facilities with multiple account registrations. Access to your bank needs wherever you are. Download the NSB Pay app from the Play Store or the App Store for free now. For more information, call your nearest NSB branch or 0112 379 379. Conditions apply.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
And on business news, India's Adani Group has signed a build, operate, transfer agreement with its local partner John Keel's Holdings and Sri Lanka Ports Authority to jointly develop the West Container Terminal of the Colombo Port. The agreement is an investment exceeding $700 million. The terminal is to be developed on a 35-year build, operate and transfer basis with those stakeholders. The port terminal will become a prime transshipment cargo destination to handle ultra-large container carriers. That was business news.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
A safe, easy and versatile app for all your banking needs. NSB Pay for monetary transactions, bill payments, reloads, credit card payments and Lanka QR transactions. A range of facilities with multiple account registrations. Access to your bank needs wherever you are.
The Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Ajit Nivard Cabral, will be unveiling the 6-month roadmap for ensuring macroeconomic and financial system stability tomorrow. The event will be held at the atrium of the CBSL and the proceedings will commence at 10 a.m. The 6-month roadmap is unveiled by the CBSL governor in the backdrop of difficulties faced by businessmen and the public due to the current existing restrictions on imports of non-essential goods and equipment. Furthermore, the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa yesterday instructed the governor of the central bank to reduce import restrictions and provide relief to importers, businessmen and the public. That came to on economic news.
Weather report.
The Met Department says a showery condition is expected to enhance over most parts of the island during tomorrow and the day after tomorrow due to low-level atmospheric disturbance in the vicinity of Sri Lanka. Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in most parts of the island. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places in the northern, north-central and northwestern provinces. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places elsewhere. That was the weather report. And now to end this news broadcast, the main points once again. The Health Ministry issued a new set of guidelines to be effective from tomorrow. The Minister of Health says 99.5% of the population above 30 has now been vaccinated. The Department of Motor Traffic and the Department of Registration of Persons resume its services. The quarantine curfew is lifted at 4 a.m. tomorrow. The Petroleum Corporation has taken several measures to cover up losses occurred during the pandemic. And on international news, the China power crunch slams factories as coal lobby warns woes could stay until winter. That ends this news broadcast.